we got local food, local beer, local suppliers of wine, local people that work with me. I think that just makes a really good ingredient to make a really nice setup for what we've got. So the Tickled Trout has its name from the fishery just over there behind us. It's got a few ponds where people go to fish for trout, river trout. But back in the day, probably about 20 years ago, this was quite a famous pub known as the Tickled Trout. And then after that, it had various names, and we decided when we opened that we'd bring back the historical name when it was quite a beacon in the environment that was a great place to go, and try and do the name proud again. A tickled trout is something that what the poachers used to do. So the poachers would go to the edge of the riverbed or the ponds, and they would hang the bait in front of the trout. That's where they sleep. And then they'll go out underneath and tickle the bellies. And because the trout are ticklish, they'll roll on the sides, and the poachers will scoop them up and put them on the riverbank. My background is from fine dining, but I decided to do something a little bit different with the tickled trout, more sort of casual dining, but with all the finesse done in the background, just a little bit more casual the way we serve. We source everything as local as possible. We have our own veg garden at the farm, so we have a walled garden. We grow all our own produce. All the meat from the farm is local as well. In fact, my butcher's having a pint right now in the pub down there. Of course, Derbyshire doesn't have any sea, so we have to source our fish from elsewhere. So that comes from Cornwall. So we champion all our local suppliers. On the back of our menu, it even says where everything's from. And yeah, we just love working with great people, great suppliers, which makes my life easier when I make a menu. In terms of sustainability, you need to take it seriously. You shouldn't just say, oh yeah, we're sustainable, but you've got to have actions to show this. And so nothing goes in the bin as much as we can, almost zero wastage. If not, it goes to compost, which we use in our garden. So we've got pasta straws, which I won't lie, it's not my idea. We saw them when we were abroad, but we thought they were a really cool idea. But I think it's something that the whole industry and other industries need to really start to focus on a lot more. Everything's made in-house, everything. So it makes workload quite high, but then the finished product is so much better. Also, we've just developed our own gin recently. We've collabed with Robert of Loxley in Sheffield. Great guys, known them for a long time. They make beautiful gin. So it's not just the suppliers that we love and care for because they're local, but all our staff are as well. In fact, most of them have been from the village over the last 10 years, and they're incredibly proud to work here. And it's kind of like a little bit of ownership of the place. But it's vitally important we look after the local people. It's vitally important that I engage with the community as well. So we're a very community-focused pub, but we enjoy it. It's not like we feel we have to. It's because we want to, and that's the biggest thing. It's been a long journey. It's been a tough one at times with the pandemic, but we're still here to tell the tale. I've had wonderful people work with me, and I can only thank them for working with me, helping me get where we are nearly 10 years now. Fantastic team, fantastic people that work hard for me, love what they're doing, and I love them also. I also love my customers, and yeah, it's a labour of love. This is a vocation. Certainly not a job you want to do if you don't love what you're doing.